On that note of New York news, that is where most of the techish problems came in, and I will spare that part for the end. However, to note, first of all, a very much piece of considerable economic news that I had not covered earlier in the week, but it is significant for us here in the North Country region to our south in Glens Falls, but it affects many of our workers up here. With the news coming out of Finch Paper, or Finch and Prine, as it used to be called, but it is now Finch Paper, no longer accepting local pulpwood in its Glens Falls mill. They have instead decided to move over entirely to imported material. That is not necessarily imported, though it could be, but to say that it is outsourced product from outside the region. The sources of that material have not yet fully been confirmed, though it is likely to come from Canada or the southern United States. That is again not confirmed, but speculated by those who work and operate inside the industry. Behan Communications Vice President John Brunt said that Finch is setting the company up for longevity in the Glens Falls area or region by ending these pulp purchases. But obviously, the big concern is the economic impact and job losses for really the smaller independent contractors like my father and many others here in Moriah and Ticonderoga and others. The professional logging contractors of the Northeast, in a statement, said that this is a significant loss for the region's logging and trucking industry with far-reaching economic consequences, as well as a serious negative impact on the ability to properly manage forest health. That is, of course, a reference to the sustainable timber harvesting and the concerns that many of our forests will become overgrown with hemlock and other woods that will be left behind per the reporting on this issue. And now, with this taking place this week and the announcement that after 160 years, which is pretty substantial in itself, that going all the way back to the end of the Civil War, that this will leave the international paper subsidiary, Sylvamo, in Ticonderoga, as the final pulpwood supplier here in New York State and in the Adirondacks more specifically. That, of course, is, again, a huge blow to the economy and one that is rather personal to me as well, given my family connection.